Okay, so we are on week 4 of our mental game session. Couple of announcements to remind the students is on week 4, next week is week 5, so payment is due, so make sure that they are aware of that. Also, the Lost and Found is starting to fill up again, so send them over to the Lost and Found, and then we're getting closer to those off weeks, so to review the calendar, okay? Now, I'm going to first show you guys the equipment setup, all right? So you will see here with the equipment setup, we've got a dog walk tunnel, jumps, teeter, weaves, little box up there in the corner, straight tunnel, A-frame, classic U-shaped tunnel, more jumps, so on and so forth. So you'll notice on that setup that there are no cones. That's because this week's mental game is going to be kind of instructor's choice. So I have two games that you can play, and you can mix and match them if you want. But it's going to kind of depend on the goals of the class and the level of the class. So the first game would be a good game for those who have students who compete in fast or who are getting ready for Sino sports. And that game is going to be kind of like a gambler's, in that what I would do is give them an ending that they have to finish with. So for instance, what I'll probably have some of my classes do is finish with this pink jump coming towards me to the teeter to the triple. Okay, but the handlers have to stay to the right of the weave pole, so a little bit of distance work there. But the opening is going to be up to them. Okay, so I would give them, 20 seconds or 20 seconds in the opening, or 30 seconds in the opening to design a course that puts them in a good position here at the pink when the buzzer goes off. Okay, and for the buzzer, you can just holler time. All right, we're not going to get out the go box or anything. You can go as far as assigning point values if you want. Okay, or it can just be a matter of handlers working on figuring out how many obstacles their dogs can do in the allotted time, and time managed so that they can end up in a good position for this pink triple to the teeter. So that's a good, teeter to the triple. So that's a good one for those prepping for Sino sports, US Open, also even those that compete in fast. Okay, your other option, and again, you can mix and match, is to just do skills and drills, one and done style. So the biggest part of agility that we have to keep in mind is that a lot of times we're tested, well, all the time, we're tested in our ability to do it on the first try and run it clean on the first try. From the class standpoint, that's hard to have the students do because you don't feel like they can learn. But with skills and drills, you can have them do it as a one and done. You only get one chance, so on and so forth, to kind of put the pressure on them a little. So with that, you can kind of devise your own skills and drills of 6-7 obstacle sequences that are appropriate for your class and that are good skills for your class. So I did set up intentionally some classic drills. So you'll see here we have Linda Mecklenburg's, I call it the house drill, where you can work like the tire to the panel, pink, red, black. You can have them do it as a classic pinwheel. You can have them do it with a blind after the red, with a front before the red, with a rear at the black, okay? Rear on the flat up here, panel to pink. So something along those lines. And then I also set it up so that you can go from the jump to the dog walk or the tunnel from either end and from either of these two jumps. So the blue jump is a straight approach to the dog walk, and the black wingless is a decent approach to the dog walk, but of course you might have to adjust it per class. It doesn't look like it here, but it is, okay? So you can work out of the house drill, you can lengthen it out to, far end of the tunnel, close end of the tunnel, and dog walk, or so on and so forth, okay? You could also work dog walk, flip to the tunnel. Down there at the end, you'll see classic U-shaped tunnel. This purple jump here can be flipped 90 degrees, so that out of this tunnel onto the dog walk, you could go up and do purple to the blue to either end of that tunnel, or up to the pink, or rear cross to the pink, okay? Pink can go to A-frame, wing, and then A-frame goes to wingless, or wingless to A-frame. I made it so you can approach from either side, okay? You'll see 15-foot straight tunnel here, all right? A nice long straight tunnel. You can work with different weave entries, different weave exits, all right? And then I did set up a box up here so you can work some box work, all right? So again, I would give them, 6-7 obstacle sequences. I would not make them terribly hard to begin with, all right? And I would tell them, I'd give them probably 2 or 3 sequences at a time, tell them to walk them. It's a one and done trial style. Obviously fixed contacts, fixed stays, but for the most part, the pressure's on to run clean on the first try. When you do that, though, I would make sure that you're reviewing handling. So I wouldn't just chuck a bunch of sequences at them and say sink or swim. All right, I would review handling so that they do feel like they're actually learning today and it's not just a rushed equipment session, okay? You can give them some incentive. So for my classes, I'll probably give them incentive in that anybody who runs every skill or every drill clean can be exempt from next week's mental game. All right, so you can give them incentive in the form of that. All right, so give them an exemption from the following week's mental game or something along those lines. Okay. So you've got two options here of stuff you can do, and again, it depends on class, depends on level and goals, but you can work, you know, kind of fast gamblers timing type stuff where they end with a certain sequence and the amount of obstacles into it, or you can do classic skills and drills and rework handling as a one and done. Okay, I am going to mark all of the jumps, or at least all of the jumps up front, so that way if you want to turn jumps to work serpentines or to work other skills, you can. But this is going to kind of be a per class skills and drills week. So that it just depends on what you're wanting to work on. So that would be Susan's request. So let me know if you guys have questions or if you need suggestions, but I'm sure that there's plenty out here you can come up to do with.